This is my Unit 4 Spider Scribe, and our theme is weather, and it's going to be for 3rd grade, and most of our activities are going to involve decorating our classroom. So we're going to start with science, and it's a color harmony / graffiti posters, and we're going to be talking about seasons. So we're going to start by watching this short video about seasons, and it goes through some pretty awesome pictures for kids to look at, and then we'll have a little discussion about the seasons and what they're familiar with. After we've watched the video, I'm going to split the kids into 4 groups, and then each group's going to have one season that they're going to do more investigating in to learn about, and then they're going to start creating a graffiti poster where they can put pictures and words to describe their season, and then they should keep in mind the aspect of color harmony so that their poster looks nice, which we've talked about before. Then for mastery, the groups of students are each going to present, so there'll be 4 kind of larger group, and each student has to present at least one portion of the poster, and then the other groups are just going to be jotting down notes about what they think is the most important of this lesson. So the mastery is going to hit this Common Core standard about reporting on a topic. It's also, the mastery and the processing is going to hit on students understanding and using visual arts as a means for creative self-expression. And then they're going to be representing data in tables and graphical designs throughout this. This lesson is going to be cross-curricular with pretty much all of them: math, social studies, language arts, art, and music, because I use science as my basic standard to get my theme, so it's all going to relate back to seasons and the weather. And then this subject's utilizing art by having students create these graffiti posters and keeping in mind that color harmony when they're doing it. Then for math, they're going to become weather presenters. So they're going to start this activity by me coming in and doing a report like I'm a weather person on the big snowfall in January of 1994. And I'm going to act like I'm someone who would be on TV and use the lingo like they would. And then we'll go into the processing part, and then students are going to use computers, and they're going to pick a type of weather such as snow, rain, or tornadoes, hurricanes. And then they're going to pick a month and a certain year and research how much of the weather occurred during that month, and then they're going to find things like either the accumulation of snow or how many tornadoes came through, and then they're going to create a presentation to display their findings, and on that presentation they're going to have some sort of graph, the total number of times or accumulation that weather happened, and then the average, and then any other math findings such as like the area it covered and things like that. And then for the mastery, students are going to present their findings as weatherman and show their calculations in their presentation. So this is going to have them present ideas or emotions through a variety of dramatizations. Their students are going to use technology to enhance learning. And then for their math standard, they're going to draw a pictured graph and a scaled bar graph to represent a data set with several categories. This is cross-curricular with science, social studies, and drama, because for the science they're digging deeper into those seasons and learning more about them, and then it's going to relate over to social studies because they're going to be taking these types of weathers and deciding where around the world they are occurring, and then it's drama for fine arts because they're going to get into the characters of weathermen. And then moving on to social studies, we're going to talk more about seasons like we did in science and math. It's going to be seasons around the world. So we're going to start with a video clip about different places around the world that experience seasons and which places experience which seasons. Then we're going to go into processing. The rooms in the walls in the room are going to be covered in paper for the class to draw on, and each student's going to be assigned one of the 7 continents or the 4 oceans, and if we have more students than that, we'll find other major physical features to have them draw. And then they're going to be responsible for labeling what they have been assigned inside the outlines that'll be up and figuring out where their place is at around the room. And then inside that, they're going to draw pictures of what type of weather that place is having right now, and they can use computers and tablets to research more on what kind of weather that place is having. And then after they've gone through this for their mastery, they're going to use a 4-column chart that has the seasons at the top, and then students are going to walk around the room, and with all the different continents, oceans, and physical features we put, they're going to try to figure out by everyone's drawings which category they think it goes under, like spring, summer, winter, right now that the students have drawn. And then we'll kind of go over that and about where everybody placed different places. So this is going to hit a technology standard of enhancing learning using our technology, and then that students will understand the relationship between visual arts and history, culture, and society. And that for geography, they're going to be able to locate the 7 continents, 4 oceans, and major physical features and regions. It's cross-curricular with math, science, and language arts. So for the math, it goes back to those seasons, and now we're learning about those seasons in different places. And then the science that we're digging deeper into those seasons again. And this fine arts element is art, because the students are going to be drawing on the big paper around the room. Then going up to language arts, we're going to be start building a word wall. And so I'm going to present my pre-made word wall. And so like if the word is snow, I'm going to have a definition and then drawings of snow falling down around the page, maybe a snowman in the corner, other things that have to do with snow. Then students are going to consider some of the words we've talked about so far in science, math, and social studies, and they're going to find a word that they found interesting or that they didn't know the definition of, and they're going to start researching more about what that word means and creating their own little art piece of the word to put up on the wall. And then once we're done with that, students are going to bring their words up for the mastery, and we're going to hang them around the wall, and we're going to try to correspond them to the continent. So if they have snow and it's snowing in Greenland or anywhere around the world, we might decide to put that one up around that area. And then this is going to hit that students will understand and use visual arts as a means for self-expression. For literacy, it's going to consult reference materials, including beginning dictionaries as needed to check correct spellings. And then also for literacy, to determine the meaning of words and phrases as they are used in a text. It's cross-curricular with that science, math, social studies, like we've talked about before. We're digging more into the the seasons, and they can kind of pick words from all these lessons we've already done before. And then it's also going to relate over to art. And then this fine art element is going to be art, as they're going to be drawing words on their word wall. They're going to be drawing art around their word for their word wall, and making it visually appealing and relating their word to other images. So then over in art, we're going to do a picture collage. So we're going to start it by having us review our words from the word wall that we've done. And we're going to talk through them again so we can ask questions about these words and explain more about them if need be. And then students are going to pick a word from the word wall that is not the one that they did, and they are going to use their computers to find 5 pictures relating to this word, and then they're going to put together a collage to represent that word with pictures they found. And then they're going to, for mastery, they're going to take these pictures and they're going to put them next to or around the word. And then we're going to go around and have students quickly explain why they chose these pictures for their collage. So this is going to utilize the technology standard of use selected media and processing to express ideas. Also that students use technology to enhance learning. And then that they ask and answer questions about information from a speaker in our introduction as we're doing that. And then it relates to science, math, social studies, and then language arts, as those are all really digging into those seasons again. That this collage, the words come from the science, math, and social studies, and that it's going to enhance our word wall. And then this subject is art, and so we're going to use the picture collage for our art to find elements. And then for music, we're going to do a flashlight dance, and so I have my video that I'm going to show as an example, because it's a pretty simple one for them to follow, and then I have the song that we're going to create a flashlight dance to together. And so I'm going to introduce them to the song, and I want them to listen to it, and we'll probably count it out and get a feel for it. Then I'm going to break students into groups of about 4 or 5, and they're each going to get a section of the song, and I'll probably leave about 4 beats between each section so we can make sure we all stay on the same page. And each group's going to make movements that they think correspond to the song. And the song is all about seasons and different things that happen during the season. So maybe if it's like hurricaning, their flashlights might really be going crazy, so they should keep that in mind when they're picking movements for their sections. And then for mastery, we'll be performing our flashlight dance. So for standards, we're going to create and arrange music to accompany readings or dramatizations, because once the groups are done, I want them to kind of get a feel for kind of writing the music, so I want them to find a way to express it on paper, whether it's using music paper or just writing it out to the beats. And then students are going to use performance of music as a means for creative expression. They're going to represent data in tables and graphical displays to describe typical weather condition expected during a particular season. And they're going to create movement phrases to portray a story or event. So we're going to create a flashlight dance all about seasons. And then for drama, which is our last one, we're going to do a weather plot map. And so for introduction, we're going to pull up the graphs that students have created in math and have a discussion about the variety of information we got when we did the math activity, such as snow accumulation in March or how many tornadoes occurred in April and things like that. So then we'll have that discussion, and then for processing, students are going to take that information and we're going to make it into a plot map. So they will start with 3 of the times that their weather was less severe. So let's say in February 2nd, we had 2 inches of snow. February 4th, we had 1 inch, and then February 7th, we had 3 inches, and it's going to be leading up to the biggest event. And then February 12th, we all of a sudden had 23 inches of snow, and we couldn't go anywhere. And then they're going to have a smaller storm event that happened later. So then maybe towards the end of February, everything had started melting, and now we only had an accumulation on that day of 4 inches left. And then a conclusion of when all the snow finally melted. And so this is going to be really open to interpretation because everybody's weather is going to be different. They can do the same thing with tornadoes, just building up to whatever day in that month or in that year we had the most tornadoes and then kind of falling back down. And then for mastery, students are going to partner up with someone who had a different type of weather than them, and they're going to present their plot map to their partner while I'm walking around to see how that's going. They're going to create or use dramatic presentations to communicate an understanding of concepts from other disciplines, and they're going to develop the topic with facts, definitions, and details, and they've done a lot of that research already in math. And then for them, it's going to also hit that math content standard again by drawing scaled pictures, graphs, and scaled bar graphs to represent a data set. So that's also going to hit the math. And then for cross-curricular, the biggest one it's really going to hit on is math, and because this activity is enhancing it by having them pull their information and putting it into a plot map to display it this time. And then for fine arts, it's going to be drama, so the subject is drama, and it's integrating our theme of weather into it. So that is my Unit 4 plot map.